I didn't intend for this placement to. So we kind of had, Goofus over here in terms of mashing up American and Japanese IP.
Yeah.
Then we have Gallant over here,
Yeah.
and then, well, which category does Suicide Squad Isekai fall into? That's the
Uh,
question.
I don't know. Uh, uh, um, really weird and yeah.
So yeah, so Suicide Squad Isekai. Man, if the Joker doesn't show up again, this cover is a lie.
Yeah. Just like the movie.
So yeah, boy, where to start? Okay, this is basically an anime adaptation of the Suicide Squad, mashed up with the idea of the Suicide Squad ending up in a typical isekai anime.
Yeah. It starts off where yeah, Ninja, I can't unsee that either. There was no reason for that. Um,
Right? Why didn't you have Harley or Katana doing that dance?
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, jeez.
Heck, I would even accepted Rick Flag, or it, you could have channeled some of that Peacemaker energy, ending energy, and had Peacemaker doing that dance.
Oh yeah, yeah, but no.
Nope.
But yeah, so Amanda Waller. Uh, oh hey Dave, good to see you, man.
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah. Yeah, Dave Brink, Genuine Comics. Check out Perfect 10. I believe he's on Indiegogo. But yeah, Amanda Waller figures out there's a portal to this other fantasy realm, and so she puts the squad together, and it consists of it's Harley Quinn, Peacemaker, Clayface, King Shark, and
Deadshot, is that his name?
Deadshot. Thank you. Yes, Deadshot.
Yep.
Yeah.
And also, they run into Rick Flag while they're there.
Yes.
Uh, yeah, the way the show starts though is kind of interesting because it's Joker and Harley on a crime spree.
Yes. Yeah. Harley's with Puddin Chan.
Yeah, it was kind of amusing listening just to say "Pudding John" over and over again.
Yeah.
I, uh, I'll say that this is a pretty crappy version of the Joker, in my opinion. They do this thing where he has his normal makeup, but he
Yeah.
looks suspiciously close to the version from Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League, where just kind of slim and gaunt, I guess.
Yeah.
One of those sexy rap boys that Twitter and TikTok are apparently all about right now. I don't know. But
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
the weirdest thing is that he has his normal makeup, but he has drawn a grinning teeth over his mouth. So every time he opens his mouth, it just looks very strange.
Yeah. It is. Yeah. I'm not a fan. Yeah.
Which is good because he's gone after the first scene where Harley gets captured and imprisoned.
Yes.
So that's basically our introduction to this being a world of supervillains, and it's actually not a bad way to introduce everything.
No, it isn't. The setup was, kind of very similar to a normal, squad setup, where they're,
Right.
you know, put them all together, and then they, of course, put the bombs in their necks in case they think about trying to escape. And
Hmm.
um, although there's another aspect of that comes into play, because they have to report in, like, I think, like every 72 hours.
Hmm.
Otherwise, it'll the bombs will go off. And but what happens is when they get in their helicopter and they're going to the fantasy world, the helicopter gets shot down, and their whatever handler guy gets killed in the crash.
Yep. So they basically have 72 hours to get over to the remains of Rick Flag's ship that he showed up on to try and fix things. Uh, right. Because they kill a bunch of orcs, get captured, break out of prison with Rick Flag, who had been there for longer. and they're as they go, the other criminals from the previous squad that he had come with are basically acting as mini bosses.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Yeah, because yeah, you had like Katana, and then who else?
He had a guy called Rat, who I don't know if he was an existing character or not.
Oh yeah, his the character's daughter was in the James Gunn
Okay.
one. Yeah,
Yeah. Yes. Speaking of the James Gunn Suicide Squad, this definitely takes a lot of cues from that one in
yeah, it
terms of the
does.
cast. Clayface is the standout as it almost feels like they included him because he was in the Harley Quinn cartoon.
Hmm.
And I would say, just like that show, he's actually a really good ad.
Yeah, he is. And he doesn't stay in his clay form all the time. He's usually in his human form, and he's the actor version of the character. I'm trying to remember
Yeah.
the name of the actor, but the guy. But yeah,
Hammy minor actor who that's kind of the best Clayface you could do for something with a comedic bent like this has,
yeah,
where he's a washed up actor who, went and clayified himself by mistake.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
uh,
And then yeah,
oh, go ahead.
no. I was just gonna say, and then you had Peacemaker, who's obviously the John Cena Peacemaker.
Yes, very much John Cena.
Uh,
um, the unfortunate, actually, no, I don't. No, there's no way for the dub that they got Sylvester Stallone to voice King Shark. As amazing as that would be.
no, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh, Now we have to speculate because for some reason, and okay, HBO Max or Max as you're now called,
Mhm.
stop making language tracks different shows.
Yeah.
We ran into that with Bell, and now we've run into that here. Except that, as far as I could tell when I went looking, uh, there isn't a dub version available.
No, there isn't. It's only the Japanese version, which
Uh,
yeah, I because I think you were saying before the show that you've seen clips of the dub,
Yeah,
floating around.
I saw something where they were doing a comparison between the dub and not dub versions of Harley Quinn and
Yeah,
Joker. So at the very least, like maybe they released a preview of it? Question mark.
yeah, I have no idea.
Uh, I'm going to just go to the. Okay, they do have episode 4 up now. Let's find out if they have the dub version up yet. Maybe they have addressed our complaint in the meantime.
Maybe, yeah,
Let's find
and
out.
yeah, there's also this other aspect with the
Nope,
show
they
where
have not.
they have not. Oh, yeah, jeez.
Yeah, my dad who loves DC stuff but doesn't do anime. Um, he said that he had a hard time keeping track of things with the subtitles.
Yeah, yeah. We'll say the subtitles did go by a little too quickly for
Very
me.
rapid fire.
Yeah, because I am a bit of a slow reader, so I'm just like, oh, come on, I have to rewind and
Yeah. At least you have this option when you're streaming instead of being in a movie theater.
that's true.
Um, so you might ask, okay, it's an isekai show. Why are they in this other world? It's strictly because Amanda Waller thought, oh, there's resources here. Now let's go pillage them.
Yep.
Because of course, because it's Amanda Waller involved, it couldn't be like, oh, there's a dark wizard who we think is a threat to our world, and we can't trust the Justice League because they'll want to control access to the portal or something. It
Yeah.
can't have it be remotely, heroic or anything like that. Got
Right.
it.
Yeah. 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 It's got to be yeah, underhanded and evil.
Naked aggression and imperialism.
Right. Yeah.
Which I gotta say, after multiple movies with Amanda Waller, I'm very tired of that character. Apparently, the big DC Comics event is based on Amanda Waller this year, and the scuttlebutt I've heard is that it's not selling well because everybody is tired of Amanda Waller at this point.
Yeah. Yeah. I can say I'm tired of her too, and And to go back and re-mention what we said before, I didn't need to see her doing that dance sequence in the end credits.
Yeah, it was strange. I will say that there were some interesting little moments in the first episode where it's like she just no sells the portal going awry, like I think a piece of debris almost hits her head, or no, it
Yeah,
hits her head, and it just like takes some hair off and cuts her, and she just doesn't. That's probably the best moment with her.
yeah,
Now, as far as the setup, it's basically as pointless as most isekai shows, if we're being honest here.
yeah. It is. Yeah.
Uh, where there's some intrigue is that there is a princess character who is like the good princess in a seemingly bad kingdom,
Hmm.
who looks suspiciously close to Harley. So I think they are clearly going to do a Prince and the Pauper switch at some point. Like,
Yes. Yeah.
they have to. Like she looks so similar to her. Their hair is even the same basic length.
Yeah. Yeah. Same facial structure, everything. It's just like, okay, yeah, they're gonna switch places at some point. Yeah.
Right. Or right, or they're we're alternate universe doubles or whatever it is.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
As far as the animation goes, it's like it's the best of times, it's the worst of times.
Hmm.
Because for some of the action sequences, it's actually pretty smooth and well done. Then there's things where they so clearly cheaped out. Like, did you notice in the second episode when they're doing the prison break that the kingdom seems to exclusively employ guys with black hair and a big bushy mustache?
Yes. Yeah, I did notice that. Yeah.
Geez, like they did that so it was easy to animate.
Well, little pro tip: just have them wearing helmets to cover
Yes,
their faces.
right. And you have like one captain who isn't wearing it, so he seems like more of a character.
Yeah.
But like the fact that they're not wearing helmets and are like personified means it's a little uncomfortable when King Shark proceeds to devour them, bones and all.
Yeah.
Um,
Jeez.
but on the other hand, there are also some moments in like the first and third episodes where I'm going, this is this seriously the same studio that gave us Spy Family, among other like actually good anime?
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking that too because it felt really I don't know. I don't know if it was just like a really low frame rate or something, but it seemed really like janky to me.
Right, especially in episode 3, they have a bit with well, an admittedly funny bit where Deadshot thinks that he is best friends with this guy named Rat,
Oh
and
yeah.
he was unintentionally bullying him the whole time they were in prison together.
Yeah.
But like that flashback was just so like the character designs were rough, the animation was low frame rate, just looks bad in places.
Yeah.
I actually found myself wishing that this premise could be done without the DC element, which sounds weird, but
Mhm.
here's where I'm saying it. There has been like every isekai concept known to man has been attempted at this point by the Japanese light novel industry.
Mhm.
Uh, like 5, nearly 10 years ago now, the one where the guy is reincarnated as a vending machine.
Yeah. Or
Uh,
slime.
yes, I don't know. Slime seems like less of a leap than a vending machine,
Yeah. Yeah.
but the idea of having a group of military contractors ending up in an isekai scenario is actually kind of interesting.
Hmm.
And them developing magical powers as a result of being in this magical world is also potentially interesting. Although in this one, like the characters are just gaining new superpowers, or their existing superpowers are strengthening as they're in the isekai world, which is it's an element. Like it lets them take some fairly constrained DC characters and do some anime style crazy action with them.
Yeah, like Clayface. He can
Right.
do new stuff with his powers, and yeah.
Yep. But like, would I recommend it? I mean, I would say that if you enjoy anime and you really liked the James Gunn Suicide Squad movie, this is definitely up your alley.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Ninja points out, and I was going to not say the name Gate. Contractors going into Isekai world sounds close to Gate, right? It would be somewhat similar. Just you could do some things to make it different.
Right.
Like they're stuck there, make it so that's like the thing with Gate is that it's really just the JSDF owns everybody repeatedly,
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
which mind you, it's that can be interesting for a little bit, but they they kind of don't have a whole lot of threats that they have to. It's ironically the usual isekai Mary Sue problem where you have a overpowered main character. Just the main character is the Japanese army with modern weapons and materials.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Like
like, okay, well, what can we do with this? I don't know.
mow down dragons. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Uh, Also, interestingly, as a tie-in to our previous item about the Whole Alive Dodgers team up, the ending song was done by Maury Calliope from Whole Alive English.
I didn't know that. Huh.
I will say part of the reason I wanted to do this was I was curious of how good how it worked in context. Max, if I want to watch the ending credits of your show that you have spent the money to hire a VTuber to sing, stop making it so hard for me not to just skip right to the next episode. I want to watch the credits.
Yeah.
I don't care about the opening. The opening is like a very lazy song in my opinion
It
because
was. Yeah.
and it's weird. I Anime made for Western streaming services, I swear, always ends up with very they. This is weird because it's like they assume everybody is going to skip the opening,
Yeah.
but then they put effort into the ending, which is way harder not to skip on Max. So
Yeah.
it's weird. Just
Yeah. Yeah. It's. Yeah. Jeez.
but overall, I'd say it wasn't for me, but that's because I only watched. Hey, why didn't DB ever do a review of the James Gunn Suicide Squad? Because I got about halfway through and said, this is kind of ugly. It makes me feel bad, so I'm going to stop.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
I don't like the vision of the world that every Suicide Squad media brings to it, or at least the modern ones.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm kind of with you. I really didn't like it all that much. Yeah, there were elements of it I thought were kind of interesting, but overall, I'm just like, I really don't care.
Probably the most visually interesting thing in it was that the world is a bunch of floating mountains.
Mhm.
It's like characters do fall off of the mountains into the sky, so you don't know what's down there. But I really liked the map that the kingdom had set up of this world, just because uh, it looked like it was stitched together out of leather, which I thought was an interesting choice.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, I will also say this is probably the best version of Harley Quinn we've gotten for a bit, which is not saying much, but it's a version of Harley Quinn that interacts with and cares about the Joker,
yeah,
and
yeah,
uh, so that's progress, right?
yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
uh, what's really funny about this is I'm sure that somebody I can't tell if this was rushed or not because I think that there are
Yeah.
aspects of the animation that seem like it is rushed. Uh, you almost wonder if somebody at Warner Brothers said, "Hey, wait a minute, we have our bound to be major hit Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League video game coming out. And we know that the cyberpunk anime on Netflix led to a lot of renewed interest in a game that people had left behind.
Yeah.
Hey, what if about 6 months or so after our surefire hit video game comes out, we drop an anime on our streaming service? That'll make people pay attention. um, I doubt this is going to bring anybody over to the Suicide Squad video game,
Yeah,
but
I don't. Yeah.
apparently this was the second most watched thing on Max, which we contributed to. So uh,
Yeah.
it's working for Max at least.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
um, other people I've seen have more of a positive reaction, but those other people probably had more of a positive reaction to Suicide Squad for the James Gunn Suicide Squad movie anyway. So
Yeah.
there's
That's true.
definitely a market for it.
Yeah.
Uh, I will say though, can we please give the Suicide Squad a rest?
Yeah.
Maybe give the Teen Titans an actually good TV show, or like an anime Legion of Superheroes where you just let the creators go wild would probably be really visually amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'd be all for that. Yeah.
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 Eh,
Yeah.
or if you wanted to do like something a little bit subversive, Batman and the Outsiders, and you could have Katana there and Metamorpho and some other characters that you could do cool things with.
Yeah.
But yeah, someone over at Warner Brothers, it's like they don't like their actually heroic characters and keeps pushing the Suicide Squad into everything.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes you wonder.
You know.